This is a Tuatara, a lizard-like reptile with 3 eyes. Look at this guy. You might just see a normal bearded dragon or other lizard, but he is unique because he is 200 million years old. Correction, his ancestors are. Look at this. There are about 21 species named here. How many of them do you think are alive today? Tuatara are the last surviving species in the order Rhynchocephalus. Wait a second.
Rhynchocephalia.
And they are only found in New Zealand. But these guys have a problem. At one point, Tuatara reigned over all of New Zealand, mainland, and the islands around. Today, they can only be found on a select few islands. Right here, with this one having the highest population. But what caused them to die out like they did? Before we address that, let's look at a food web. All good food webs start with compost and plants. Various New Zealand plants are eaten by bugs like crickets, beetles, and weetas. These are eaten by spiders, birds, lizards, and frogs, and all of them are eaten by Tuatara. Except for the birds, although Tuatara are known to eat bird eggs. Tuatara are often preyed on by birds of prey, stoats, cats and dogs, and worstly, these guys. Don't be mistaken by their sweet eyes and soft fur. These rats are the devil. Wherever Kiore and ship rats have been located, it's likely Tuatara have been wiped off. Kiore were introduced at least 1,000 years ago, and by the time European settlers showed up introducing ship rats, Tuatara had already been killed off the North and South Islands. No, but really, these guys are so bad that the official New Zealand conservation plan is really just to keep them off the islands where Tuatara can be found. However, they're not the only factor in the decline in Tuatara population. For one, many Tuatara have been taken out of New Zealand to overseas or for personal collections in museums. This is poaching, although not in the usual sense of the word. Tuatara also have very low genetic diversity, which means they're exceptionally vulnerable to any environmental changes such as deforestation, fires, and climate change. Today, there are anywhere between 50,000 and 100,000 Tuatara in New Zealand, and conservation efforts in the last 2 decades have helped increase the population. The preservation of this animal is not only important due to its status being the only left in its order, but they also hold cultural relevance to some Maori, or indigenous people of New Zealand, as some tribes see them as guardians of knowledge. In addition, Tuatara have also been known to share burrows with certain seabirds in symbiosis, where the birds gain shelter and Tuatara get the scraps from the birds. The droppings from the birds fertilize the soil, inadvertently making Tuataras helpers in the distribution of nutrients. If you really want to help, there are multiple charities who dedicate themselves to preserving fauna on specific New Zealand islands, including Tuatara, and also a charity dedicated to translocating Tuatara for conservation. If you want to help, you can donate yourself from these QR codes.